So here's the thing. I feel like everybody is talking about morning routines as you just start a morning routine and it automatically works. You wake up in the morning, you do a couple things that the day is like automatically better. I haven't seen it work like that. Hey, I'm Rashida, a workaholic, a recovering workaholic, and your dream strategist. And I help regular people, entrepreneurs, anybody who struggles with continuing to work more rather than working less and living more, make the transition so that we can actually enjoy our life. If that sounds like something you want, I would love for you to stick around. Okay, so I recorded this a little bit ago. The quality is going to look a little different, but this really gets to the core of some of the struggles about what it looks like to change your life, to create a lifestyle out of new habits and new routines and the struggles in doing that. And then I'm going to come back at the end and give you some suggestions on how to fix it, how to make it better for yourself, and what I do to actually create freedom in my own life. I'm always working on new habits, and this particular one is about starting a YouTube channel. And I also was talking to a one-on-one client today, and it kind of goes together. When we put a new routine, a new habit, a new system into our lives, a lot of times we think, oh, because I said I'm going to do it, it's just going to magically just start happening. Like, I'm just going to wake up every day and I'm going to do what I said I'm going to do. You see, I'm laughing, right? And I say that with so much love, but I also say, give yourself some grace. I really want you to think about how your brain has been used to doing it this way for a long time. Let's just say a month, a year, 5 years, 10 years, 15 years. Your brain has been doing something this way. Now, there might be a chance that you just automatically switch over to doing something a different way. But 9 times out of 10, it's going to take some time for the old way that you did it to evolve into this new way. So you've written down, especially you guys, when you're getting into working on your realistic week and you're starting to live it out, I want you to remember that it's a process of evolution in yourself. You might have changed your mind first, and that's a beautiful thing because the changing your mind is the first step, and it's so huge and it's so important. But it's the first step to then changing your lifestyle. And changing your lifestyle doesn't happen overnight. So if you think that, I should just automatically be able to step into these routines, I want you to do something for me. Right now, I want you to pause and say, today, I give myself grace. Today, I give myself grace. Why? Because if it was that easy, you would already be doing everything perfectly. The truth is that you don't, and that's okay because it's not realistic. You need time. You need a chance to evolve. You need a chance for your lifestyle to change. And so today, you might have done it a little bit late. Maybe you just completely forgot. Remind yourself, set up a routine, maybe tweak how you remind yourself or how your reminders are set up or how your habits are stacked so that you can be in a better place to do it on time, at the right time, for the right length, with the right things that you need tomorrow. And every day you try to be a little bit better at it. And so do that evolution until it becomes the routine that you want it to be. And then once you've gotten that routine, then you might add the next one in. So that's actually the second thing that people really have unrealistic expectations about starting a routine is that somehow people think, I should just change everything in my life all at one time. Oh my gosh, that is the worst thing you can do yourself. It is so unkind for you to do that to yourself. Please don't do that. That's not nice. You're my friend. Don't treat my friend like that because all that does is really set you up for failure. You're trying to change everything in your brain at one time. And that's usually a lot to change at one time. And our brain recognizes change as not necessarily creating safety. But if you have a balance of some things that you are changing and some things that are staying the same, you still have this foundation of safety while other things are evolving until they become a part of the new level of safety. You really don't want to change everything at once. If you change everything at once, you're making your mind mind, your body, everything feel like it's out of whack because it doesn't have any baseline anymore. And I want you to stay away from that. So that's two things I would love to see you not do when you are trying to set up and start new routines. So getting back to my YouTube channel, I am in this process of making it a new routine for myself where I post once a week. And it takes a lot of steps to get to that place. I am doing research. I am doing trending topic research. I'm looking up what are good thumbnails. And that's all of that before I even get to deciding what am I going to talk about in the video? What's my outline for the video? Picking the text on the thumbnail, making the thumbnail or options for the thumbnail, taking the pictures for the thumbnail, and then I'm recording it. So it's this process that I'm learning. And part of me wants to beat myself up and hurry up and be like, get things right. Why are you taking so long? And I'm reminding even myself, again, I deserve grace. Not everything is going to happen overnight. Not every video is going to be perfect. Not everything is going to go as quickly as I want it to. And guess what? That's okay. So I use that as an example for myself, but I hope it helps you see sometimes we create extremely worthy goals, extremely worthy changes to implement into our lives. And sometimes they don't happen immediately. That doesn't mean there's something wrong with the goal. That doesn't mean you didn't do that right or all of these other mindset things that we get into. It simply means that it takes time for you to change your lifestyle to make space for the new goal, the new expectation that you have for yourself so that you can actually not just do this as a one-time thing, make it a lifestyle thing going forward. So anybody that's making any kind of lifestyle changes, which we are all about lifestyle changes here, so that's every single one of us, have some grace for yourself. It's okay. You're going to get there. It's going to be great, one step at a time. All right. So we've connected around how hard it is to actually take on new routines, take on new habits, and try to change our lifestyle to live the life that we actually want rather than this life that we've built so far. And we recognize that trying to add a whole bunch of routines or really any routines at all can be way harder than it seems like. So the way that I've been able to make this lifestyle change is that I am using a couple different tools to help myself make the transition to create a plan first that I can implement so that I can actually just walk the plan out and make it a lot easier so that I'm not trying to figure things out as I go. So the first step that I do is I create a realistic week. And the best way that I can describe it is a budget for my time and energy. It is how I take a step back from being in the weeds and look at the greater good and say, you know, I keep overbooking myself. Actually, I didn't really realize that I was overbooking myself until I tried to write everything down in the schedule. And I realized that I ran out of time. Like there was literally not enough time in my schedule, but it was also the clarity that I needed to see. I was setting myself up for failure from the beginning. And that was what needed to change rather than feeling like I needed to take on more or feeling guilty. Like I could see I was giving everybody more than their due diligence of my time and my energy. And I needed to pull back and give myself more time and energy. And so I did that by creating this time and energy budget that I then have as a main structure that I use. And then the second part that I do is every week I set myself up to plan my next week using my long-term vision and this time and energy budget so that I can get the things done that need to get done. Also carve out time for rest and energy, rest and time for myself. And then also put in chunks of time where I take care of my long-term dreams because my long-term dreams need time. So I have to start working on them now if I want to see them happen in the future. So I do that combination of where I have my time and energy budget, then I create my schedule on a weekly basis. And then my goal is as I live my weekly schedule every week, I have to stop and reflect every Friday on, did I overbook myself? Did I feel good about my schedule? Were there any places where I felt like I was overwhelmed? And then I actually look at, how am I going to do that better next week so that I can make incremental changes to get me to the life that I want? I can't say this enough. It doesn't just happen overnight. I strongly suggest you start with a plan and then you start implementing the plan. And when the plan doesn't work, you adapt it, because that's what's going to get you from where you are today to where you want to be. Can you tell I'm passionate about this? I talked to someone who reached out to me about my last video this morning, and she said, you said everything that has been in my mind. And it was just so nice to hear I'm not the only one who's struggling with this, because everybody makes it seem like it's so easy. And I said, girl, you right. It is not that easy. And even though everybody tries to make it seem like they're just floating along, the reality is they're struggling. They just don't know how to show up in a way that shows both sides. So I hope that I help you see it ain't that dang easy. And I also encourage you, please keep trying, keep trying. You will get it. And she came back to me and she said, I've got this. I've got partnership with my business partner. I've got kids. I've got work. I've got my family. And I said, girl, this almost brings tears to my eyes, because I get it. I know you have all of those things. I relate to that more than you probably even know that I do. But here's the thing. If you actually use the time budget, and if you join the community to have the place where you can really have someone, I'm there with you. We're going to look at your schedule together. And I'm going to be like, hold on, child. How you really going to do all of that? If you really use the things I've set in place, you can make the change. And I know it's hard. We're going to look at all of that together, because if you try to change one thing on one side without paying attention to how it affects the other things, it will be lopsided. It will not work. It's like trying to drive a car with a flat tire. Okay. We got to look at all the things at the same time. That's why I set this up. I set this up so that I give you the tool, I give you the plan, and then I help you implement it every week. So if that sounds like something that totally gets you excited, I would love for you to join me inside the anti-superhero bundle. I'm not even going to get into that. That wasn't the goal of this video. The goal of this video is to give you the main 3 things that are going to change it for you. So let me recap. Create a time and energy budget for yourself. Your time is a finite resource. And if you don't pay attention to how you budget it, it will fly away. And before you know it, you will be burnt out. You will have no energy, and you will have no time for anything, for anybody outside of yourself or for yourself. So please create a budget for your time and energy. Number 1. Number 2, get yourself an accountability partner who is going to help you stick to your budget, because you need to implement it. So get a partner that's going to say, hey, you're saying yes to too many things again. Come bring it back. Have you been using your schedule? Bring it back. You need that accountability partner that's going to help you get there. Because this is number 2 is really about implementation. And so you got the plan in step 1. Now you need to implement it. So step 3, you got the plan. Now you're implementing it and you got an accountability partner. Number 3, adapt it. It's not going to work the first time. No matter how well you try, you are going to overestimate at the beginning, because that's what you've been doing naturally. That's the whole part of a budget, is that you have to be more realistic. You have to be way more in touch with how much time and energy you actually have, and how much time and energy you actually have to give before you can actually make a real budget. And that takes realization. That takes practice. And so now you need to go back and adapt the plan. You tried it for the first week. You and your accountability partner, he or she has kept you on track. And now you need to go back to the plan and say, that's not really working. Let me try something else. You're right. But here's the thing. Don't go crazy and start from 0 every week. You make tweaks. You say, well, this part I never seem to do. I want to tell myself it's important, but I never get it done. You need to think about, is that really something you need to do? Or is that something you need to take out? Because if you don't need it, Get rid of it. So the third step is to adapt. Those are my three steps for you. That is what's changed my life. Now, let me tell you, I am still busy, but I have never had this much freedom in my life. I do not feel obligated to show up for anybody. Now, here's the thing. What that allows me to do is that when I show up because I want to be there. I show up because I want to give my energy. And I show up because it's important to me and I want to support you. That changed so much. In my business, I don't wake up in the morning just to make money. I wake up because I know I get excited about doing videos like this. I get passionate about showing up and having conversations with you. I get passionate about having one-on-one sessions where we cry, where we celebrate, where we jump up and down about all of the progress that we've made in the life that we're moving into living. I get to do that because I'm no longer saying yes to things that I want to say no to and no to things that I want to say yes to. I finally got that switched. This is going to help you say no to things that are obligations and yes to you. And you deserve to say yes to you. Okay, I can rant about this for a long time. So, if you're interested in the anti superhero bundle, I would love for you to click in the description. Go ahead, check it out. If you got any questions, post those in the comments about it. I would love to tell you more. Otherwise, go ahead and get signed up. I would love to have you in this group and community. And actually, I'm not going to record this. This is done.